2. I've got these soldered on. I've bent it at 90 degrees like that for where I'm fitting it on the 4-wheel drive. Like I said before, heavy wires are very difficult to solder on, and I've only gone heavy wires because of the particular application I'm using. The piece that I cut off, some decent speaker wire is more than enough, and it's much easier to solder on. See that joint there? Even a small piece that I cut off, I was able to bare the wires, put a bit of speaker wire to it, and it solders very well. Heavy wire is real hard to solder on to this because it doesn't take much heat to tin the strip, but it takes a fair bit more heat to tin the wire. The lighter speaker wire, they're about the same temperature and they fuse a lot better. I'm going to use that one in the glove box. What I didn't show you is that once you've got the solder on there, you need to seal it. Now I just use some gasket sealer. Dry it out a little bit on me, not my luck. Give it a bit of gasket sealer or silicone. Gasket stuff's good because it's designed for automotive. And just squeeze it down between there and around it. Get it nice and coated. It'll keep the water out of it too. On the back side, do the same. You notice there I've actually cut some of the silicone away with a adhesive, so I can put a fair bit in around there. A little bit of spit on your finger so it doesn't stick to your finger, and you can smooth it out nicely. Doesn't have to be spit, of course, it could just be a bit of water, but we've always got a bit of spit on hand, haven't we? So I'll leave it like that. That's sealed up enough, and we'll set that aside to dry, and then we'll wrap some electrical tape around that just to make sure that it stays sealed up. You can use heat shrink, but because I've got that one bent at 90 degrees, because it fits a particular application, heat shrink isn't going to work for what I need. We'll do the same here with these. Down in between. When you get in between the two and down the joints, it actually helps prevent it from earthing out and accidentally touching when it's being put into place. Do the same on the other end of it, on this one. You don't have to use grey, it's just that I've got grey. I mean, you can use black or white, doesn't really matter. It's not going to hurt it, just as long as you seal it up so it doesn't get any moisture in there, particularly if it's going to be for an outside purpose. Right. The other thing you can do, solder iron in. quite. These strips, because it is straight, we can use a bit of heat shrink. Probably not going to shrink all the way down because this is a bit big. We'll try it anyway. Rightio. Still a bit hot. Shrunk down enough to go around the light, but not quite enough to go around the wire. Well, that's more than enough anyway. Just make sure you've got a good seal there. It's locked off. If you're using a blowtorch like I did there, just make sure you don't get it too hot, otherwise you're just going to burn all the wires and that. It's just not going to go down too well at all. I think I might just leave it at that. While this is still a bit tacky, I do prefer to put the tape on. I use a good quality electrical tape. It actually does help seal it while it's tacky because the sealer bonds to it as well. Not put that on anymore. Off. Round, seal him off. A little trick with these, when you're using electrical tape, a lot of people pull it and snap it and stretch it, and the tape ends up curling back and then unrolling itself. Don't pull it back and snap it off. Take it to where you're going with it, bring it back from the end, and then cut it. And it won't peel itself back. It'll stick down. So nice and sealed. Right. This particular way is going on the bull bar on the front of the car underneath for rock lights. I'm putting it above the winch, so if I need to winch at night, particularly down here in Tassie, where in winter time it gets dark pretty early, we want it to be reflecting the light down if we're going to have ground lights, so that we've got lighting on our winch. Right. Well, let's go and test it. my connection there. Plug that into that for the moment and just test it. Make sure we've got a good join. Excuse the shakiness. Right, we've got it plugged in there. Light strip there. I've got my ground lights wired into the accessory socket, so what I'm going to do is turn the accessories. Yep, there we go. Comes on. You can see that real well in the daytime, anyway. It doesn't show it too well in the daytime. Why that's bent at 90 degrees is because under my bar here, I'm putting it underneath the light bar, and it's bent at 90 degrees to go back in under behind there. That way, once the winch is in, like I said, it's still going to point down to the ground, but it'll be showing where my winch cable and that is, so I can unravel it and unhook it. But I need to clean the bar down with a bit of Scotch Brite and a bit of metho before I apply the thing. Okay, all done.